Okay, so we've got a unicorn. Somewhere we've got a cloud. Well, we know where. It's behind this unicorn. And what we need to do is position them correctly. But we're keeping in mind that that positioning is going to be affected by stuff that happens over here on the left with those buttons, right? What we want is to be able to move a button, click a button, sorry, and move our character. And we want to be able to also, see the position of that hero here in the left. So maybe it's a good time to look at a diagram. So what we've got here is an app. This is our whole app here in purple. This purple border is everything. That's the app. And we know our app is stateful. So we wrote that as a component. It's got state. We know this component doesn't have state. It's just it just takes in some values and outputs some values. And we're going to be bringing in a prop position in a sec, and the same with hero. So our cloud and our hero are stateless functional components. Our app is stateful. And I can actually say everything, all of these other components are all also going to be stateless. Only our app is going to have state. And this is usually a good idea to try and centralize your state. And this means that we can do stuff over here with these buttons. It'll update our app. Our app can then send that data over here and send that data here and anywhere else we want it to go. So only our app is going to be stateful, and all the rest of these are going to be stateless. And the state in our app, we can start with that state by creating a hero position. And that's going to be an object with an X and a Y value. And we can also have a cloud position. And that's going to be an object with an X and a Y value. And, we could also have a goal position, right? So this will be our initial state. And for those values, what we're going to do is just think about the geometry here. Or is that geometry? Think about the math here. And what we want is for our hero to start at window dot inner width divided by 2 plus window dot inner width divided by 4, if that makes sense, minus half of the size of our image. So we'll say for the x value window dot inner width, not height, width, divided by 2 plus window dot inner width divided by 4 minus half of our image size. So that'll be our x. And for our y, we're going to say window dot inner height divided by 2 minus 100. And that'll just put it, sort of near the center. Now we also need to get this cloud position. And for the cloud position, let's just say window dot inner width divided by 2. Oops. And that'll put it kind of on the edge over there. And then we'll say 50 for a y position. Now, so this is our starting or initial state. We're going to have a position for our hero and a position for our cloud. Now, why do we need to store those in state and not just regular old variables? Well, because find it. Because, for instance, our cloud is moving now. And so state is keeping track of the current state of our application in which our cloud is moving. And so that's constantly changing. And the same with our hero position. Not constantly changing, but often changing. So we use state to track the current state of our application. And what's great here is we've got one place in this whole application where we're storing the state. And we can modify that from within this app component. And then we can send that position out to where it needs to go. So we'll send it to the cloud. And we'll send it to the hero. And eventually, after we write that goal, we'll also send it to the goal. We'll send a goal position out there. But so what's this value we need to send in? So we're going to send it, we're going to get a value called hero position from state, from this dot state, and one called cloud position. And the way I like to grab things off of state is through a thing called destructuring. So we'll go hero position, cloud position equals this dot state. And what we're saying there is we're going to grab this property and this property off of that object called this dot state. And now we can use those. We'll say hero position and that of course needs to be cloud position. And then those are coming in as props now to each one of our little guys here. So I'm going to again just use this shorthand here, and I'll grab position off of props, and then I can use that in here, and I'm going to add to this list of styles. I'll say style top. We'll start with left. Is position.x. Top is position.y. And we should see when I go to the browser is that now this position value, which is coming in from the app, its hero position has been renamed to position, right? And you know, I could probably actually turn this into these two, and this might be a fun thing. We could probably make these one component if we wanted to, because they're just doing the same thing, but with different data. But for now, we'll just keep them like this. Position, position, position. And we can do the same thing in our cloud. And actually, let's look at our app and see if we moved our unicorn. There it is. It moved down. And now we'll move the cloud. Position. I'm just going to copy that from the hero. So, you know, like I said, this is a little bit of a code smell because we're duplicating this code in two different places. And we could definitely probably use some sort of a higher order function to just make these one thing. But for now, we'll just keep it like this. Maybe think about this later. And now our cloud moved down just a little bit. Now, how do we have these update, right? That's a bigger question. But I'll update the cloud position, and we'll do it in a loop in the next video.